14 meeting. Lowry County Solid Waste Authority will now come to order. I'll ask Ms. Pam Creech to lead us in our invocation and Mr. Campbell to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance. Microphone.
Dear Lord, we come before you humbly today, and we thank you for all the many blessings that you have bestowed upon all of us. Please be with us today as we do the county's business and help us in everything that we do. We thank you very much. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
all the media reports been sent out. Okay, good. We'll come for the approval of agenda.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and second that we approve the agenda. Any questions? All in favor, make it known by saying aye.
Aye.
The approval of the minutes from the November 25th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second that we accept the minutes from the November 25th meeting. Are there any corrections? All those in favor, make it known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it. Public input? Not notified of any, so departmental reports and updates. Ms. Murphy?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My report begins on page 11. I'm going to begin with an update on our annual Pop Art Contest. Just a reminder, the Pop Art Contest, POP standing for Protect Our Planet, is a contest that we run in the middle schools every year. This year, our winning entry, our material that we were using this year was broken crayons. We always use a material that would usually be thrown away. So this year's material was broken crayons. We received 15 entries, and our winning entry came from two students at Aner Middle School, Joey Page and Seth Hamilton, and their picture is included in your board packet. Their entry was named One World Save It, and their actual entry is on the easel over here by the wall. So that's their actual entry. They were both very excited about being named our winners. All that artwork was created with broken crayons, with the exception of the canvas that it's on. So just wanted to bring that to your attention about who won this year's contest. Next update would be on our annual Grinding of the Greens program. As you know, this program in the past, we've partnered with Santee Cooper, and we once again will be partnering with them on the advertising portion of this campaign, as well as the grinding. Santee Cooper secures the tree service to grind those Christmas trees off-site, those in North Myrtle Beach and Myrtle Beach. We handle the grinding here on property. The program will begin on December 26th, the day after Christmas, and advertisements, the public service announcements have already begun running. The newspaper print advertisements will begin. Your packet says on December 24th, but we will run in some of the local papers the week before that. And the program will run through, or the collection portion will run through January 27th. The last update I want to give you for this evening is just a review of our holiday schedule for Christmas and for New Year's. All Solid Waste Authority facilities will be closed on Christmas Day and on New Year's Day. Recycling centers will close at 5 o'clock on Christmas Eve. Just about everything will open on the Friday after Christmas. Our office will be closed. And then the following week, the Friday after New Year's, our office will be closed. All other operations will be back on normal schedule. Any questions?
How's your husband feeling?
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate you thinking to ask about him. He's feeling better. He's not quite at 100%, and the doctor told him a week ago that he's got a ways to go before he doesn't hurt, because of the going through the rib thing and all that good stuff about the lung. But he's getting there. He's getting there. But I appreciate your asking about him, and all y'all's thoughts and prayers were greatly appreciated. I'm a true believer prayer works.
Thank you.
Is he tired of his nurse yet?
Not ever is he tired. I will say this, and I'm going to go sit down because this is supposed to be quick. But I'm trying to think which journey was it to the hospital, because he did two. It was the second journey when we went. He had to go and be readmitted, and we were just got into the room. It's 11 o'clock at night, and the nurse said, "We need to go over the inventory. What you have with you? What are your valuables? Do you have your phone? Do you have your watch? Do you have any jewelry?" And he said, "No, the only thing valuable I got is my wife."
Smart man.
That is a smart man, I'm telling you.
Mr. Hilling? He was medicated already.
Good afternoon. Real brief this month. We hadn't had a lot since it's only been a couple weeks. Our drivers of the month, this is our second time we've had what I call a tag team out there from Pryor Landscaping. John Simmons and Rodney Rush. You can see the picture. They're both real proud guys out there, very humble men, great to work with, and they work with staff really good, so we recognize them. And just looking at their picture, they were really happy to get that picture taken and put it up there at the scale house. We've heard from them. So great job from them. Just real briefly on the closure, I've got a memo there, put it at everybody's desk. The week after the last board meeting, pretty much rained all week, plus we had Thanksgiving. It wasn't much done. Last week it's been pretty standard, just with topsoil covering up covering the cover out there. So really, very little change going on out there. So that's about it for this month. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Finance? Okay.
And if you like this way of doing finance reports, we'll continue to do it.
Can't let her off the hook that easy.
I would like to say amen.
Special projects?
Just one thing in the recycling incentive programs, we've issued $139,680 worth of credits to our customers that has participated in our recycling incentive programs. We still have about $195,000 remaining for the rest of the year. It's going good. It's actually increased a little bit. I think we looked at some tonnage. The recycling tonnage had increased by about 1,100 tons from the prior year, same time period. So something's working. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Besson? Mr. Knight?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My report, let me say, last week we traveled to Charleston. I met with the Association of Counties. We got a chance to meet the new chairman of the Ag Committee. Mr. Hardwick moved on to I think the Ways and Means, and David Hyatt is the chairman of the new, he's the new chairman. We had a chance to chat with him about the last couple of years and about the future years. They had 4 people on a panel. Senator Hembry was one, David Hyatt was one, Massey from upper part of the state, and House member from Lexington County. So the counties are facing some big issues, especially with roads and money and employees and everything. So we'll be meeting with INR, still meet next week, Steve? Yes, we'll be meeting with INR next week to update them on a few things, so, we'll continue to keep them informed. I passed out, a letter from Beam and Associates. I think everybody's probably had a chance to take a look at it, a list of things that they will do for us this coming year. For the 6 months that the capital is in operation. And one of the things they will be looking at helping us with is the e-waste. You know, it doesn't seem like anybody's pushing e-waste issues across the state. And this will be one of the challenges with them if you approve them. Horry County, since 2012, 13, 14, spent $500,000 getting rid of e-waste. And as long as these guidelines don't go into effect, Sony and all the TV manufacturers are not having to pick up any of that cost. So they can drag it right on out, and I'm hoping that's one of the things that Beam and Associates will be able to help us do. But there's a whole list of stuff, and to include all the expenses, the services will be $27,000 for the year, or the 6 months that's in the capital's in session. So with that amount of money and stuff that they can help us with, it's going to be my recommendation to move on. We have the money budgeted. It's already in professional services. There's no problem with funding. So I'd just like kind of an endorsement on the process.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to say let's proceed with that, give Mr. Knight the backup that he needs, and I think he can, of course, like he said, it's professional services, so he can actually do it without consulting with us, but we like what we see here, and he's done a good job. Mr. Beam has done a good job here. He's hit on everything that we need to look at, probably, and more, and he did us a great job, but I say let's move on with it. I recommend. I make a motion that we give Mr. Knight the authority to go ahead and make a move on that.
Been properly moved in second that we give Mr. Knight the authority to go ahead and move on Beam and Associates to our consultant for the coming legislative year. It's open for discussion.
This is budgeted. I
It is.
understand you to say.
Just for the record, what did we pay last year in that? Any idea?
60.
Okay.
Why is it that much cheaper this year?
I guess it was,
Was that a whole year for 60 or just the
Good.
legislative session?
good negotiations and, looking forward to another year.
Okay. Well, your negotiation skills are marvelous.
Thanks.
Any other comments? All those in favor make a number by saying aye.
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 Opposes? Ayes have it, so ordered. Anything else, Mr. Knight?
Old business.
You got anything else?
No.
No committee reports. Solid Waste Management Plan recommendations?
Mr. Chairman of the Board, we, as you can see, we need to move forward with the plan. I've handed y'all out a schedule, and that's the schedule we're going to do, and just need the board to give staff permission to move forward with carrying this thing on. And if you got any comments, I'll be glad to try to answer them, or any questions. We will be meeting again finally when this thing is completed, but we do encourage that any board members that represent a municipality or municipalities to encourage them to attend our Policy Advisory Council meeting. Or if you run into somebody, because it's important that we get their input from the cities, and get prepared with them before, try to handle anything we can with them before we go to the cities asking for those resolutions in support of the plan.
Okay.
The public input we had tonight, will that be incorporated and shown each time this is gone, or did you just compile that and put it on at the end, or just all of the public input that you have on the plan will come back for the board to see as you go
The
through?
board will have to make any changes in the plan that the public comment has to do. The city council can't make, council or the policy advisory council can make recommendations. If it was big enough, y'all could recommend that the TAC committee reconvene for a meeting to consider them, or y'all could consider them yourself.
At each one of the municipalities, you're gonna present this plan?
Yes, we'll talk about the plan, give it to them, the mayors will get a presentation from HDR, and then I'll take it to each one of the municipalities and give them an update on what we plan to,
Okay.
what
At
the
each
changes
one
are.
of those, will we be able to see the public input? You will record that so that the board can see all of the public input?
I don't know that I can record it. It's probably recorded by each one of those municipalities. I don't think Lois records theirs. Of course, we'll be taking comments. If public has comment there, we'll bring those comments back to the board. It may not be recorded because some
Well, that's
municipalities don't. We want to consider all the public comment, and I may get written comments coming in at any point in time, and all of those will come back to the board right before it goes to county council. Realizing that county council has the ultimate say, we can put what we want to in it, and they can ask for it to be changed. So,
But HDR is going to the municipalities and make a presentation before you go back and meet with the municipalities yourself, right?
no, HDR will come in and make a presentation to the Policy Advisory Council, which is made up of mayors and the chairman of county council.
Okay.
After that, then I will take it, HDR won't go with me, and I'll go to each one of the municipalities myself and ask for those resolutions. Last time, some of them wanted presentations, some of them didn't. So we'll take it there. We'll also take in any public comment or written public comment that comes in, and we'll bring all that back to the board. And then, of course, county council will, and then we'll get the final document put together based on public comment and the comments from the cities, send it to county council, and county council can, anything on the agenda, they have a public comment hour for anything on the agenda. They could receive public comment on it. Take it into consideration, say, we want it amended, we don't want it amended, we want to say, okay, we agree with it, you know. So there's a whole wild range of things.
Like, the policy council meeting on the 22nd will be here?
Yes.
Okay.
That is a tentative date, as I said in the email that I sent out. I need to, you know, I got to try to,
Verify it with them.
you know, I've had some already say, well, Thursday's a bad day for me. Well, when is a good day? And but I want to try to do it in that week. I got to try to work it out with multiple task people to try to get it on a date. But that's the date I'm shooting for.
Last time we did this, the biggest discussion group that we had was with the mayors and the chairman. And of course, e-waste was new, and they couldn't understand the difference between commercial and residential stuff. So that took up a lot of the discussions before, but there's not a new program like that in this. There's a lot of goals, a lot of objectives that we statewide and we need to look at. So really pay attention to those, and everybody's going to have a lot of opportunities to speak because we'll be in front of a lot of people on this side.
Yeah. And two, you know, like I said, we may get written comment in here. And if we get written comment, it'll be brought into the board for them. But maybe, you know, we had a little hold up last year with one municipality, and Mr. Gray helped me out, and I'm sure he's going to help me out this year.
Amen.
Any other comments? And accept the recommendations then? Is there a motion? Or can we do a common consensus?
So moved.
Moved in second that we accept your recommendations and updated schedule. All in favor, make a number by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it, so ordered. New business, financial assurance. I knew she had to talk.
Good afternoon. As you're aware, each year, we're required to permit, or to send in to financial assurance to DHEC. We have 120 days from the end of our fiscal year, which is December 31st. Like I said, what we've got included here, of course, is the local government financial test for financial assurance. What this does is it is reporting to DHEC that we have the means available for closure and post-closure when the landfill is closed. As part of this packet, like I said, I have to have board's approval to send these reports into DHEC along with our audited financial reports, the county's CAFR, and as well as these local government tests. And of course, we meet all of those. There are several different options that you have with financial assurance. You can have bonds and insurance. Like I said, we choose to do the local government financial test. So I'm just asking for the board's approval to send these reports into DHEC so we can have them there by December 31st.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second that we provide the financial assurance that's necessary to go to DHEC. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it, so ordered. Health insurance discussion.
Health insurance. We are currently, since the Solid Waste Authority was formed, we have fallen under the county's health insurance plan with the state health insurance. Because at the time, we weren't eligible as a standalone. We did not meet the requirements. In the past couple of years, the state health plan has changed those eligibility requirements and have encouraged local subgroups to apply to stand alone on their own health insurance policy. And that, in order for us to apply, we have to have approval from our board allowing us to apply. We've taken a look at the eligibility requirements and feel comfortable that we will meet those requirements. So that's why we're asking for the board's approval tonight to go ahead and apply to the state health insurance for us to be eligible on our own policy, making it a little bit easier for us and for the county. Currently, they're having to bill us each month for our portion of the bill, and this will make it easier for us as well as for them. So this is just asking for your approval for us to apply to see if we qualify.
How will that affect the cost of it?
It should be the same. There shouldn't be any change in the cost. It's just the billing process would be the only thing that would change.
Okay. Need a motion from the board.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved in second that we grant Finance Department an authority, the right to make application for our standalone insurance. All in favor, make it known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Ayes have it, so ordered.
Thank you. I have one other, I'm sorry, Mr.
Yeah, if they say that we do qualify, we will bring that back to the board, and we'll talk about it, whether we gonna split off or we're not gonna split off, we stay with the county, state, go with a new firm. It just gives us some options, and it will come back to this board.
Yes, sir. One other small thing that I did have, I know several of the board members have asked about the fact that since we've gone with direct deposit, that you're still receiving an advice in the mail. And I know several people had said they thought they were not going to get those anymore for cost-saving measures. And I apologize. I think there was a little bit of confusion when we made these changes this summer with going direct deposit, making direct deposit mandatory. Along with, at the same time, we also brought in our check writing in-house. Bringing the check writing in-house is where our cost savings was. Therefore, we didn't have to email checks to the county anymore with the possibility of having to void checks if the email didn't get there, as well as the county was going to change over their system, so therefore they were going to have to start charging us to print our checks. That was why we brought it in-house so we could save money. The direct deposit, making direct deposit mandatory was more of a safety feature. It was more so that we didn't have checks sitting around floating out there. Also, as well as if we came upon a storm or some kind of other disaster where we didn't have the opportunity to get out to the centers or to the employees to give them their paychecks, the money's already in their account. There wasn't any of that, so it was more of a safety feature than a savings feature. With that being said, also our next step in this process was also to do away with the checks or the advices sooner or later. That's our next process. We'd like to go to what they call an employee portal, where we'll no longer give out W-2s or check stubs. You'll go online and you'll be able to see your check stub and your W-2 online. We just had to do this as a process to get the employees kind of prepared for it as well. I know the county's looking to go into the same type process to do away with direct deposit advices and do the employee portal. And that's what we're looking at doing hopefully within the next year as well. We just knew we kind of had to take some baby steps to get there. And we started with making direct deposit mandatory, then the next step would be to do away with the advices. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody kind of understood. So like I said, you understood why you're still getting the advices in the mail.
Yes, sir.
Had there been a problem with the safety of the checks, or were you anticipating one?
No, sir, there had not been, other than we did from time to time run into some where employees didn't cash them, and so we were carrying them, and so we'd have to, from time to time, remind them if they lost it. They weren't aware that they lost it, or we'd have to go to them and say, you still have a check that you haven't deposited, can you get it deposited? So from time to time, we would run into that. Biggest thing was, like I said, just so it's in their account. We weren't spending time having to run around worrying about getting checks out to people on Fridays.
Thank you. I know where the problem lies now.
I did not call any names, no names. Thank you.
Roundtable discussion?
I had one.
Yes, sir.
I guess this came out a little bit before our book was put together this year, but this month. But here's Dr. Coakley. I don't know if you're aware of it, but Cherry Hill Missionary Baptist Church is recognized in the Oriental Independent for serving 275 free Thanksgiving dinners. I know you know about it. I don't know if you knew it in the paper. And I would give this to Esther so she can. I serve on the board of Helping Hand in Myrtle Beach and serve meals several times a month at Community Kitchen. And we think everybody's getting along real good, but there's a lot of hurting people out there. And I carried some canned goods to Helping Hands pantry yesterday, and the lady in charge there said, this year we got some stuff that we can put in. All they walk out with is a little white grocery bag, and then they got to qualify for that. Anyways, I'm sure that everyone joins with me in commending our chairman, and I'd like to see this put in our book for next time.
Thank you, sir. We actually served 291, and Food Line came through on Tuesday of this week. I don't know if anybody passed by Cherry Hill, but Food Line came in and gave out 300 boxes of food for the holidays as well. And we serve approximately 1,900 folk a month at our clothing and food bank. These are hurting times. I'd like for you to pull out your calendars. I'd like to request, if possible, a meeting or an early meeting in the month of January, 1 week early if possible, instead of the fourth Tuesday, the third Tuesday, if that doesn't create conflicts for anyone.
What is that date?
January 20th.
20?
Yes.
Oh, you got it down for that date. That's not reading.
Do we have it down for the 20th?
Well, I can't read that good.
I had it on the 27th, but 20th is fine with me.
27th is the
27th is the regular meeting.
normal.
Oh, county council meets that night, but that's all right.
Oh, on the 20th?
Yes, yes, sir. But that's
conflict with that.
not a conflict with me.
We just meet earlier? Okay, that's fine.
That's right. They meet at 6, don't they? Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Time want to meet, 3 or 4?
3 o'clock.
3?
Good.
3, give it, what time council meeting, 6?
We'll give you plenty of time.
All right, 4 or 5.
Okay. All right. Is there any need for executive session? Anything else for discussion? Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, let me thank Mr. Thompson for filling in for us today. We couldn't quite make it. My plane landed at 1:21, but I'm thankful for him filling in for me.
Glad you made it for this one.
Thank you. Ready to adjourn?
So moved.
So move, we adjourn.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas. And Happy New Year.
Hmm?